Okay, so the first instance I had with this man is that he was my statistics teacher. He didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Nobody understood shit in that class, and that was honestly a blow off class. He curved everybody's grades because he was not a good teacher at all. And I could just tell from the first time I met him that he would be this type of person. The first time he said something to me, there's multiple times, and I'm gonna go through every single one of them because I need to. Like, I've been holding this on for like too long that I just need to. Is yeah. So the first instance was, it was Spirit Week at school. The day for the Spirit Week was Jersey Day. So a lot of, basically the whole school wear jerseys. And so I meet up with some girls outside of the classroom, and we're all walking in like, oh my gosh, like you wore that jersey, and I'm like, we're matching, and da da da. And so we all kind of walk in at the same time to this classroom where this teacher is. I'm gonna call him John. So John kind of walks up to the door, stops, and says, why do girls look so cute when they wear jerseys? And then us girls, like, we just like look at each other, we're like, okay. And we kind of just don't think anything about it because he didn't say you guys. He didn't say us directly. He said you girls. And I feel like that was his way of not making it seem like it was a big deal, even though it was, because this shit only progressed more. And so the next instance was a more personal experience where nobody was passing his tests in that class. Nobody. Everyone either got like 70s or 40s on his test. I was one of the people that got in the middle, got like 50s on his test. But there's more to it, okay? I'm gonna explain that later. So I got like a 50 on his test. Half the class failed this test, okay? And so he made us come into lunch to retake the test because it was our fault that he was not a good teacher, okay? I walk in, I'm one of the first people because I want to go eat. Like, I don't want to sit up in here and take this test all of lunch. And so I'm like, hey, like, can I get my test, please? Like, I just want to get it and then go eat. And so he's like, yeah, sure, Elenise. And he's just like smiling the whole time. And so he hands me the test. And so I take it and I look at it and I'm like, wait, this is not me. Like, can you give me the right test? And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. I must have mixed it up because you and Sadie, I'm going to call her Sadie because I don't want to give out names. You and Sadie just have cute smiles. And then he gives me my test. I take it and I run to the back of the room. Like, I don't run, but I walk fast to the back of the room. I scribble whatever the fuck I can remember. I turn it in and I leave. Okay? Like, who the fuck says that? Like, even, I feel like even female teachers don't do this. Like, why would he say that? And you know what the funny thing about that is? I completely bullshitted that test because I was like thinking about it the whole time while I was doing it. I was like, why did he say that? Why did he say that? So obviously I wasn't concentrating on my work. And so I check my grade like the next 2 days and I get an 87 on the test. I get an 87 on a test where I got a 57 the first time, and I rushed my way through the retake just to get away from him. Like, there's no way. He's obviously curving the test. And so the next day, I go into the room, I'm like, what did you guys get on the test? Because, like, there's no way I passed. They're like, wait, I got a 36 on the last test, but then I have a 84 on this one. And it's like a repeating pattern between all the girls. They're getting higher grades. And so we're like, okay. And so the next time he says something to me is in the same classroom. Okay, so it's a little bit hard to explain, but I have two classes in that same exact room, but it's with a different teacher. The first class was with John, the predator, and that class was statistics. The next class was with another teacher, and it was accounting. And so after the first class is over, I go to the back and sit by my computer for the second class, accounting. And so everybody is gone besides John, okay? Besides John. So I'm sitting on my computer. It's really quiet. I feel like something's about to happen. And then John walks up behind me and he was like, I really like your buns. Like, they're always so big. And I was like, I turned around like this. Like, my neck fucking snapped. Like, you could hear the crick when I turned around. I was like, wait, what? And I forgot I was wearing a bun. And so I was like, what are you talking about? And then he was like, your buns, they're always so big. And he had the nerve to fucking put his hand on my bun and squish it. Like, first of all, you should not be touching me. Second of all, why are you saying this stuff to me? Like, why are you still talking to me? Even after I felt uncomfortable the first time he said something about my fucking smile. Like, at this point, I was getting fed up. I was like, why is this dude touching me? Like, even if it was just my hair, he still touched me. Even my female teachers, even the female teachers I had didn't touch me. They didn't touch my hair. Why is this man? And so he leaves the room, and the other teacher for the other class was in there. So I don't know if he saw that, but I know he heard it because this man has a very low, loud type of voice. Like, a voice that, like, if you speak, you can hear it from miles away because it's so low. Like, I know he heard it, but I wasn't going to say anything about it. So from that instance, I went home, like, literally that same night. And I told my mom, I was like, Mom, like, this teacher touched my hair without my permission. He said this to me. And then the first day of school, he said something about me looking cute. And then my mom kind of just laughed it off. Like, she didn't say anything, actually. She was, like, silent the whole time. And I was like, my mom would be the first one to jump on someone if they were to do that. So I was like, shoot, like, if my mom doesn't care, then maybe I shouldn't either. And so the next time, it was like costume day at school, and I came in dressed as like a referee. And so he was like, you look really cute today. And I was like, I'm just gonna sit over here and I'm not gonna make eye contact with him through the whole entire class. So the whole class, I remember this moment. The whole class, he was up on the screen, like, what's it called? He was up on the board, like, describing whatever supply and demand was and all that type of stuff. And I was looking down the whole hour and 40 minutes because I was fed up at this point. And then he has the nerve to stop teaching and he goes, I feel like some of you aren't listening to me right now. And then I look up, like, I look straight like this, and then I look over at him and he's making eye contact with me, and everybody's kind of just like, what is he talking about? And then he goes back to teaching. And the way he said it was so aggressive that I was like, what the fuck? Like, why are you worried about me out of all people? Like, I'm actually passing this class. Like, what? And so the next time, there's so many instances, y'all. Okay, so the next time he says something to me, I go to check out a textbook because the final was like in a couple of days and I was not about to fail. Like, I was not about to fail. So I was like, hey, John, I need to check out this textbook. Like, can you write my name down? And he was like, you know what? You are very dedicated and I like how you're always motivated to learn. And, you know, I was talking to the accounting teacher, which is my second class, because they both share the same classroom. And so I'm always in there, like, because we're the same classroom. So apparently they both talk about me or something like that, which is what John was making out to be, which I find it hard to believe. But anyways, he was saying that, you know, me and the accounting teacher, we both find you very likable. Like, you're very on top of it. You're always ahead of the game and you're always wanting to help out, which I never do help out, which I don't know why he said that because I'm literally in the back all the time, either on my phone or on the computer. So he's like, we just find you very likable. And I was like, oh, he said that? And he was like, yeah. Like, he said it so assuring. Like, he wanted me to believe him and, like, that would make me trust him more. So I was like, can you please give me my textbook? Like, the last instance that I can remember of him doing something, like, totally, like, out of line was I left the classroom instead of staying in there for accounting to use the bathroom. I meet up with this guy that I was talking to at the moment by some lockers. Tell me why I see John coming with his teacher cart in my direction, like, while I'm talking to this dude. I see him from a distance and I'm like, look, to the guy that I'm talking to, I'm like, look, like, I need to talk to you later. Like, I'm about to be late to class. Like, see you later. Bye. Because I didn't want him to see John come up and talk to me. Because every time I see him, he says something all the time. And so the boy that I was talking to leaves. And then John, what do you know, comes up to me because we're crossing paths to get to, like, my class. And so he's like, who was that guy you were talking to? And I was like, I don't know. I just met him. And then he was like, oh, because he's in my class and he has like he gets in a lot of trouble, and you know, I don't see you guys being together, and I don't see what you see in him. Just saying all this stuff trying to make me not like him. Like, who the fuck does that? Like, I keep saying this, but not even my female teachers that I had would say that. And this man is like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, and it's disgusting because this man is over here, this grown-ass man is telling me who I should and shouldn't date. Or who I should and shouldn't talk to. Like, trying to tell me to stay away from guys. Like, to me, that was kind of like a sign that he didn't want to see me with other guys unless it was him. And I was so disgusted at that point that I told my mom again. I was like, Mom, look, this is what he's been saying to me. This is what he said. And then from that point, my mom was like, okay, I'm getting so-and-so involved. I'm getting this person involved. I'm telling this person. And she sent out a mass email to the school. And we had this big meeting. Like, they pulled me out of class one day. And there was this big meeting in the principal's office about what he said to me. There was someone transcribing messages. They made it seem like it was so big of a deal, which to me it was. They wanted it to seem like that, which I keep saying, which you'll understand later. So I'm sitting there, the principal's like, what did he say to you? Has he ever used profanity? And where did he touch you? And all this type of stuff. And I was like, I explained to him all the stories that I've been telling you. And then there's like a female in there, just like listening with her arms crossed like this. There's a transcriber person, the principal, there's some more people in the room. And so the lady goes, you know, you're not alone in this situation. Like, you know, there's a lot of women who've been going through this and you're not alone. And I was sitting there like, shut the hell up. Like, y'all make it seem like you care, but you really don't. Because I come to find out that they're saying that they're going to handle it, that they're going to talk to the teacher, that they're going to talk to John, that they're going to put him in his place without exposing me, which is one thing that I was very scared for, was coming forward and having him know who I was. And so they're like, we're going to keep it private. We're going to do this to him and he's going to understand to not do this again. A week later, he's still there. He's still saying things to me. A month goes by. He's still saying things to me. And I'm just like, you know what? This school really doesn't care, because if they did, he would have been gone out of here. And then come to find out, I'm in college now, and I have some friends that are seniors now in high school that have that man as a teacher, and they're like, yep, he's still here, and he just said this to me the other day. And honestly, it just makes me seem like, why would I come forward if there's nothing that comes out of it, if there's nothing good that comes out of it? Like, I just don't see, like, I used to not understand why women never came forward whenever they were sexually harassed or, you know, victimized and assault or whatever it was, that women never came forward. I was like, why don't they say something? And now I understand, because no one does anything. No one does anything. And that's exactly what this school did. They didn't do anything. And this man's still teaching. This man is still harassing girls. And it's not okay. If this ever happens to you, I pray that you go to someone who is higher than the principal. Because these people were making promises that still have not come true. And the thing that makes me more upset is that this man is white and I am a black girl. How do you think the situation would have been if it was maybe a black man harassing a white girl? Or even if it was a white man harassing a white girl? They would have handled that a lot differently. And I know that as a fact. That's all I have to say.